to the show, everyone. You know, I love this show, and I talk about everybody else but me on it, and I love the information that people get when we're doing this show. We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there, so like us and follow us. The cool thing is if you want to go ahead and put Networking Arizona into the Facebook bar, you're going to see us in here doing the show live. Now, my first guest has been on with me several times. I have with me August Heiss, and he's the owner of ADH Electric and Solar. I want you to tell everybody first, obviously we know a little bit about what you do, but just by the name of your business, but I want you to talk a little bit about yourself, what you do that makes you so different than anybody else out there.
A couple things. We definitely stick to servicing the customer. Customer service is a priority for us, which is in our industry is a little difficult at times. There's a lot of people coming in and out. Obviously, we're an electrical contractor, commercial and residential, and we have delved into the energy efficiency side for many years, which was the last step to that would have been solar. And those incentives went away December 31st, 2025. However, it is still a good idea. Electric rates are going to keep going up. Your ROI might have changed based on the incentives being taken away, but it's still a good idea. But again, we address all your electrical needs, and therefore the electrical contractor side, anything from a house to a business, commercial, residential.
I got to talk.
Yep.
So I want to just explain you and what I've learned now for the last, 12 times here or more, that one of the things that you talk about is that, you can't just put solar on your roof and expect that things are going to be way cheaper. It just doesn't work like that. It really works from the inside, then finally at the last step to put on that solar, because you have to go in there and look what's going on inside.
Right, yeah, definitely. You always want to take a look at what you can do. Energy efficiency, and whether it's a business, a building, or a house, is a key step, because even if you don't go solar, there are so many energy efficiencies that would support you and reduce your electrical usage. Again, lowering all of that is very important, and the cost of efficiency is a lot less. Then obviously the last step would be in that solar direction. Absolutely.
So a lot of people, we're going to be talking a little bit about batteries right now, and everybody has a question. Is it good? Is it not good? And you've been in this industry for a very, very long time, so you're an expert on it.
Yeah, expert, yes, thanks. We're working on it. I'm in the education business, so I keep educating myself as well.
So,
go ahead.
Okay. Are battery backups a sound investment, and what do they provide?
So to address that, a lot of people are asking about that. So the name itself, battery backup, that is the clue into what the battery is. It's a backup system in case your utility electric goes out, okay? So if you don't have a lot of loss of electricity for extended periods of times, then my opinion would be, if you wanted to offset, just add to your existing system with solar panels, because the battery cost is very expensive. So you got to weigh that, and it's not going to run your whole house. People have that misconception or are told that. The truth is, it's a backup system for minimal systems in case it goes out to, maintain some energy in the house for whether it's your refrigerator, maybe for the microwave, and so maybe your internet and some lights around. Because can we do a full house backup system here in Arizona? Yeah. As much money as you have to throw at it, it's able to be done, but it's going to be very expensive. So my suggestion on that, take a look at everything and just add to your existing system to increase your offset, to minimize your bill.
Now you are statewide, you're rated with the Better Business Bureau, and you do what you call free in-home energy evaluations.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and solar estimates, right?
Yes, yeah, we do. I mean, obviously, if we're doing a service call, there is a service charge on that, but that gets incorporated if there's any additional work that needs to be done there. But yes, the energy efficiency, there's so many things out there that you can educate yourself. We have done that for ourselves, and we can bring that to the customer and direct them. And if they're handy, they can do a lot of it themselves, and if not, we can support with some of it and have other subcontractors that we work with that can do other things involved in that.
That number is 623-688-0663. You can check them out on their website. It's adhsolar.com. Okay, let's go back to some of these other ones that we have here. So, what is the winter super off-peak rate with APS? What's going on with that?
Yeah, APS has some incentives that they have added because they've changed their rates and other things. They've taken away some of the credits. But the APS super off-peak rate is almost a wholesale rate, and that is in the wintertime from November 1st through November 1st through April, beginning of May. The super off-peak is from 10 to 3. That's when you want to use all your electricity, heating your house. If it's too warm out there, because we've had seasonally warm weather, and you want to cool it down in that time frame. And if you have a EV charger, an electric vehicle, charge it during that time frame. You're not going to get any better rate than that. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's a money saver right there. Run all your utilities at that time frame, your heavy loads, because that's going to save you the money. Again, that's November 1st through the end of April, which you have a few more months of.
Right, well, it's already started. Right?
Yeah, it's been going since November.
And I had asked you, how many people remember, to do that? Because a lot of times people don't remember,
Right.
or they have to do their laundry or what have you.
Yeah.
There's sometimes you just can't help it.
Absolutely. It's just something to keep in mind to use for your benefit.
So before we go on a break, I just wanted to ask you, what is energy efficiency anyway?
Well, energy efficiency could pertain to a lot of things. If you have windows that are not shaded, particularly west and south facing windows, and sometimes east, if they're not shaded, no overhang or nothing, you want to put some shades there or some reflective stuff on there to keep the heat out. So that's what you want to do. If you have an electric water heater, put a timer on it. Why are you heating water when you're sleeping or you're not at home? Set it for your habits, and that way you minimize, because that's your second after your AC. Your water heater is your biggest usage as well. So those are regulation things that you can do. We have a power conditioner is what I call it. It conditions and cleans the electricity in your home so you use it more efficiently and saves the wear and tear on all your motorized equipment. That's an easy step in as well. There's many altitudes.
What about the pool? Because a lot of people, if they have pools and they...
Well, with a pool, nowadays, I think it's mandatory to have the energy efficient pumps. If you have an older pump, change it out. It's a multi-frequency speed pump, which regulates, and that helps save you electricity. It can, I think, save up to 75% of the old pool pumps that are in use.
I think it's really important, especially if you do have an older home, right? Because a lot of that has to be changed out, especially if you want to save money. Have them come in and do a evaluation for you. They are statewide. They are all about customer service. That's a priority to them. Again, their phone number to call is 623-688-0663, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And again, they're both commercial and residential as well. Check them out on their website. It is ADHsolar.com, or right, and maybe this is it's for you, or maybe it's for someone that that's what networking is all about. That's why I call the show Networking Arizona. It might not be for you, but if you know somebody, I'm sure everybody wants to be able to save money, especially today. Again, that number to call them direct, it's 623-688-0663, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Check them out. It's ADHsolar.com.
Good job.
Okay, thank you. We're still live in the room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay. So with what you do, somebody's going to ask you. So when you come in, what's a typical? And I don't even know if you can even answer this because it's probably different for every single home you go into. How much money can you save people when you come in and do that evaluation?
That's very varied because, for example, everybody's habits is really what regulates that. You can have a 5,000 square foot home, because people will tell me, oh, I have this size home, what's it gonna take? No, we need to see your usage. Your electric cost is okay, we can do something close to it, but the usage really determines that. So like I was saying, you have somebody with a 5,000 square foot home and he's a miser. He's not gonna have that much offset or that much, need for things. You have somebody in a 2,000 square foot home, half the size, but they're an energy hog. They're gonna have a larger system, and there's more things that need to be offset. Obviously, the older homes, as you mentioned, an old AC 10 years plus is somewhat of a hog. There's quite a bit of savings when you put a new AC in over the summertime. Particularly, I've seen it as high as $100 or more a month on the summertime of savings just with a new AC. Obviously, those are costs again, you gotta weigh in. But if it's going out. Now, for example, I mentioned the power conditioner. That thing is a little device that's been around now for quite a few years for small commercial and residential. It's old technology from when the larger companies with large engines and machines that they work, it was called power factoring. And so that unit actually reduces the amperage draw, which reduces your electric cost. So with older ACs and motorized equipment, it can actually help that because it creates a saving. And cleaner energy, it actually extends the life of all your equipment because everything's running cooler and more efficient.
Well, having you check it is probably number one, because most people don't even think about it.
No,
unless they've been living in there for a long time and they're just praying every day, that something doesn't go wrong, right? But most people don't maintain their things.
You maintain your car to a certain point, and most people don't maintain themselves. Their health.
That's very true.
That's like, the health is as important.
People don't care.
Until it hits them.
Exactly. It is so true that you couldn't get any further from the truth. So welcome back, everyone. Doesn't everybody, when you get your electric bill, especially closer to the summer, like close your eyes and just throw it away somewhere? You don't even want to look at it. You don't even want to open it up because, our bills are just getting higher and higher and higher every day. And even if you've done everything you can, it seems like that it's still going to be a problem because they're still getting higher and higher and higher. I did want to ask you, August, one thing, because I skipped this one. What is the best rate plan to be on with APS, and how would you know?
Yeah, APS has several plans out there. So I looked them up recently as well. So if you have gotten an electric vehicle recently, APS does have a plan for people that have that, which gives them an additional reduced off-peak charging rate from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So that's one plan if you have an EV vehicle to look at. I'm not in favor of the demand charges because now the main basic plan is from 4 to 7. Used to be 12 to 7, and they changed that, reduced that on peak to 4 to 7. So if you don't have solar, you want to make sure you minimize any usage in the house from 4 to 7. And obviously we just talked about the super off-peak rate. In the wintertime, you're going to want to use from 10 to 3, you want to load up, use what you can, because that's the cheapest rate. I think it's like 3.5 cents a watt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, because normally now the off-peak's been raised up to 10 plus cents, while the on-peak is 24 plus cents. So big variance there. So that's a little break that they give you. So you want to take a look. If you have a demand charge, see how that's fitting you, because the demand charge, you have to be stringent between that 4 to 7 peak, because if you have any usage, whatever spike you have in that time frame, that's going to be an extra surcharge for you. So again, looking at your electric bill, seeing if it's the best plan you're on is another option that you have to do, or check or call somebody in to do that for you. We can do some of that. I've done that many times for other people. And that's kind of what you have to look at. Now, the people that have solar, same thing again. You know, minimize, use your 10 to 3 time during the winter time to offset your stuff, because it's going to help your solar production. And for the people that have solar on the roofs for a longer period of time, so they're in the net metering program, which was the best one, which was also taken away from us. It's stick with that and be very careful if you're doing add-ons to your solar systems that you don't get bumped into the new buyback rate, which changes what you're currently doing. So be educated on that, and we can help you with that as well.
2 things I want to mention. Number one, you both do APS and SRP.
Yes, yeah, we
Because
work
I know
in
you're
all
talking-
territories. We even go down to Tucson where you have TEP, and pretty much any utility company in the valley,
But
in
your
Arizona.
utility company's your utility company.
Yes.
You don't get a choice.
You don't get a choice there. That is
Right?
correct.
Right.
Yes.
And I was going to ask you something else, but I forgot it right now, so I'll have to get back to that in a minute. Because I think it's really important that people understand that you have been doing this for a long time, and when you can come in and help them with their their energy efficient, making their homes energy efficient. This is where it starts. It doesn't start at the top. It starts really at the inside.
Ground level.
Ground
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
And a lot of people do have electric cars, right? And we need to know how to use them, when to use them,
Right.
when to charge them.
And if you're having an electric car, make sure that you install a 240 charging system, because if you're doing a 110, it's going to cost you a lot more money. I was going to say double or triple. I don't have that right number, but you want to make sure you're charging 240. That's going to minimize your charge time and your charge cost.
Okay, so how important is it for somebody to have an electrical inspection?
That is another additive there, and what I was going to address with that is your main panel outside. Some of the older homes have aluminum wiring. Some of those get loose, so you could have a fire hazard there. So having somebody come in, check your main panel, check your breakers, your outlets, make sure. Some of the older homes have added. Somebody did their own additions or electrical possibilities
I'm
there.
sorry, anybody's doing that is a little nuts.
Well, you can do it, but you have to be very careful. So even checking your main panel, checking to make sure everything is tight, checking and make sure it's clean, corroded, there's no frayed wires. That's very important. There's another thing that you can do in your panel, which most people are not aware of. It's called balancing, because you have 2 legs coming in. 2 120 legs to create your 240. If you have a load up on one side, that load side is going to be very, very high, and that's what your costs are going to be derived off. If you balance the system with the loads, again, we do that as well, but it's not because most of the homes that are put in, they're track homes, they're just slapped in. They don't balance it, they just put them wherever it needs to go just to hurry, get out and go. So those are, again, little information tidbits that we work with.
That's why they're rated with the Better Business Bureau. They are statewide. They do these free in-home energy evaluations, which sounds to me like everybody should start having that right away, because they just went up. You just said the rates just went up.
The rates have gone up, and I believe they're looking for another rate increase. That is correct.
Of course
Yes.
they are. Why not?
Yes.
Again, they can literally do whatever they want.
I will not answer to that question,
Okay,
but yes,
I'll get in trouble
I
for that.
understand what you're saying there. Yes, it is definitely the regulatory commissions out there is questionable at times of what's directed. Again, everybody has their policies and what they're trying to do. APS is a business for their shareholders, and they're looking to make money. They're not going to lose it.
Their phone number is 623-688-0663. It's adhsolar.com. I remember it was that people have to be very careful about having just anyone that comes knocking on your door and starts to try and sell you something or what have you, because one of the things, even if you're going to have something done on an existing system that you already have, what I remember talking about quite a bit is you've got to make sure they're licensed, bonded, and insured, and you are. It's very important for that, and tell them why.
Well, it helps with the warranty. So I was going to address something that you just brought up. So we do also a lot of R&R work. What that means is removal and reinstall. We work with a lot of roofing companies. the roof is old, has leaks, has solar on it, roofing company can't touch that. We come in as an electrical contractor, licensed, bonded, insured, keeps all the warranties in place. We remove that solar system. They do their work. We come back in and reinstall it better than it was, or as it was if it was good. So, and that's been happening. There's been a lot of people coming into the market. They have a business license and they're trying to give very cheap, much cheaper deals per panel remover, where I'm very, very competitive. But again, I have a business and I need to keep that working and keep my license and bonding and insurance going. So I'm not the cheapest, but I'm not the most expensive, but can make sure that everything stays in place and all your warranties are
What's
upheld.
more important, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you
because you want to
pay
make
plenty
sure.
of money for that system. You want to make sure you keep it in line.
Can you imagine if you found out later on that your warranty was broken or how
Voided, null and void. Yeah.
voided because of that, and you would be so mad at and it would be yourself, right? So again, you want to call them. Listen, I think that it's so important, especially here that we live in Arizona, one of the hottest places in the world to live, practically. You know, here, look at it now, and we're going to be using your air conditioning, your pool pumps, or whatever. It's just going to be crazy. You might want to just have them take that look around and do an energy evaluation for you. It just makes sense to do.
Or maybe it makes dollars.
Say it again in there.
I said maybe it makes dollars, not just cents.
Oh, you know what? That was pretty quick. That was very good. 623-688-0663. Again, rated with the Better Business Bureau. They work statewide, both residential and commercial. A to Z.
Here we are, A to Z.
What are some of the other services that you offer?
Well, we do energy efficiency, as you said. We do R&R work, roofing, removal and reinstall. We do panel upgrades. We do EV chargers. I mean, literally anything electrical in a new home add-on. You're adding a casita. You've got commercial work. We do all of it. There is really nothing that we're not licensed to do out. So again, that's key is efficiency and customer service.
So what are your final words for everybody out there?
Well, my final words used to be put it where the sun does shine. And actually, you can still do that. Obviously, with the tax incentives gone away, it's still a good idea to invest in yourself and your energy, because the rates are never going to go down. They're
I'll tell
going
you
to just
something.
keep going up.
It just makes dollars. It just makes dollars and cents, because first of all, like you said, the bills are just going to be going higher and higher and higher. Right now, the best thing to do is to have somebody come in and do an evaluation for you, not to have the door knockers come in and try and tell you what is going on and what they're going to do, because they're pushing something else normally. Licensed, bonded, and insured. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They are statewide. Their number is 623-688-0663. It's ADHsolar.com.